Welcome race fans here to Homestead Miami Speedway for the final race of the 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season as we are live here from the Homestead Miami Speedway, the Ford EcoBoost 400, a 27-lap race that will end the 2016 NASCAR mock season along with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. We have 42 drivers lined up on pit lane, all hoping to go to victory lane, but only 4 drivers on pit lane have a bigger goal in mind, and that is to walk away with the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship. 4 drivers are still left standing after 3 rounds of the chase. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin, all starting up inside the top 15, but Joey Logano has been fast all weekend, and he'll start from the pole in that shell Ford for Team Penske. On his outside today, 2500 champion Ryan Newman in the Caterpillar Chevrolet. Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr. on row 2. And then row 3, you have Tony Stewart making his final NASCAR Sprint Cup Series start as a full-time NASCAR driver. Tony Stewart, final race, will roll off 5th in that Mobil 1 Chevrolet. Now, we talked about Joey Logano being on the pole. Let's send it down to pit lane and show you the rest of your chasers in the field. You have Logano on the pole, but in 7th place is the 2. Brad Keselowski was in a must-win battle last weekend at Phoenix. He got the win. He got the checker flag, and he got a spot in the Final 4. Denny Hamlin rolling off 10th on the grid. The only Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota left standing. He'll roll off 10th. And then you had the 4 of Kevin Harvick as being the Final 4 in all 3 years of this brand new chase format. He'll start 11th in his Busch Beer Chevrolet. One of those 4 drivers will be a champion, or will end the night as a champion. 2 drivers looking for their first ever title, Logano and Hamlin. Brad Keselowski and Kevin Harvick are trying to become a 2-time series champion in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Will they do it? We'll find out as we're going to take it down track stop for the command to fire up these engines.
Drivers, start your engine!
And now the pace car will lead the field on to the track. 42 drivers fires up their engines and will roll off into turn 1. We had a total of 44 entries. 2 drivers did not qualify. The 32 of Jed Burton and the 98 of Blake Cook. Christopher Bell won the 2016 NASCAR Camping World Truck Series Championship on Friday night. Last night in the Xfinity finale, you saw Erik Jones win the title for Joe Gibbs Racing. Tonight, it is Team Penske versus Stewart Haas Racing versus Joe Gibbs Racing. Joey Logano, Ryan Newman, Chase Elliott, Martin Truex Jr., Tony Stewart, Greg Biffle, Brad Keselowski, Eric Almirola, Austin Dillon, and Denny Hamlin. At the top, you should have already seen your starting grid roll. Kevin Harvick 11th. The lowest chaser on the grid is Kevin Harvick in 11th place. Who will win the race, but who will win the championship? Logano, Keselowski, Hamlin, or Harvick? They come from turn 4, and the season finale for the NASCAR Spring Up Series is underway here from Homestead. And a pretty good jump by the 24, Chase Elliott down in the turn 1, pushing the 22 of Logano to the lead. Clears Ryan Newman on the outside line, and through the middle goes Denny Hamlin in the 11. And Newman bounces off the wall off turn number 2. They fan out 3 wide, and here comes Brad Keselowski for 2nd place. Logano drops on the outside line, and Chase Elliott grabs the lead off turn number 4. And they're 4 wide behind him. Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth, and we're under caution. Kenseth spins in the back. Caution flag waves for the first time tonight off turn number 4, and we had a wreck actually entering turn number 3. The 9 of Elliott Sadler, a lot of cars. Michael McDowell, 34 of Brett Moffitt. McDowell in the 95, Elliott Sadler. Trevor Bayne involved. Paul Menard, Landon Castle, a lot of cars involved. Looks like the 93 of Matt DiBenedetto, driving for the 4th BK Racing the third BK Racing injury this weekend involved, and more importantly though, none of our chasers were collected. That's a good thing, but guys like Trevor Bayne wanted to end his season on a high note. Not going to happen here at Homestead. He is involved in our first caution of the day, and it happens involving the 21 of Chris Buescher. That's actually a few different wrecks that go on. The first one is going to happen right back here off turn to the 38 of Landon Castle. He's going to make contact with another car. It appears to be Trevor Bayne. He's going to end up bouncing off the wall. Comes down into Landon Castle. Justin Allgaier, Matt DiBenedetto. There's DiBenedetto's contact. And at the same time, up here in turn number 3, Michael McDowell, Elliott Sadler, Chris Buescher. It appears Buescher may have got some contact from the 88 of Dale Jr. Buescher spun down the track, collected Paul Menard, and they're both going to come up the track into Michael McDowell and Elliott Sadler. Alex Bowman, last night's winner, got a little bit of contact. There's Bayne. Moffitt runs into Elliott Sadler. A lot of cars involved. But then it's not over yet. The 20, Matt Kenseth, one of our chase contenders, or was one of our chase contenders, eliminated after Talladega. They were 4 wide coming out turn number 4. And at this point, we are already under caution. We are racing back to the line, trying to get every position they can get. And Newman and Kenseth made contact. Matt came down into Vickers. A lot of pretty good damage on the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So, but all 4 of our title contenders were in front of all the mess that went on lap number 1. Right now, Brad Keselowski is 2nd, Joey Logano 5th, Denny Hamlin is 8th, and Kevin Harvick is 9th. But it is rookie Chase Elliott got the lead on the start, and he'll be a leader when we go back green here from Homestead. We're back live, getting ready for the restart tonight. 4 drivers had a shot at the title. They're all inside the top 10. A couple of cars behind the wall. Elliott Sadler, Michael McDowell, and Brett Moffitt. A lot of cars have been taking this yellow flag as a chance to come down pit road. See Dale Earnhardt Jr. coming off pit lane. Matt DiBenedetto, Trevor Bayne, Ryan Newman, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Matt Kenseth, Paul Menard. But your top 10 rundown: Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski. How about Tony Stewart in 3rd, Martin Truex Jr., Joey Logano, Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, Denny Hamlin, Kevin Harvick, and Greg Biffle. Your top 10: Jamie McMurray, Ryan Blaney, Brian Scott, Carl Edwards, and Eric Almirola. Your top 15. You go back to the race last night in the Xfinity race. We saw no yellows. We saw 1 yellow in the truck race, and now what we see here now as we're back on the green, and a pretty good jump by the 2 of Brad Keselowski. First got to make a move to 78, Martin Truex Jr. on the inside of Tony Stewart, and here comes Keselowski for the lead on Chase Elliott in the 24. Side by side out of turn 2. Truex in the 3rd, Logano up the 4th, but Keselowski going after Elliott for the lead. New leader, the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Clears Chase Elliott. And the 26 of Dakota Armstrong got in the wall off turn number 4. See, Armstrong's kind of off pace a little bit. A lot of these cars in the back are damaged from the wreck on lap 1. And now Truex going after Chase Elliott for 2nd place. Logano drops to 4th. Hamlin now up into 5th. So your 4 championship contenders now being shown inside the top 6. But Elliott and Truex not letting that 2-car drive away just yet. Hanging right in the tire tracks of Brad Keselowski. Brian Scott up the track off turn number 2. So far, Toyota has won both of the driver championships this weekend, the truck and the Xfinity race. Could they possibly do a sweep with Denny Hamlin? I mean, Hamlin's been fast this weekend, so there is no telling what could happen here tonight. Like, could history be made? Could Toyota win all 3 driver championships this weekend? Hamlin does have some work to do, though. Has to get around the 22 of Joey Logano as the top three is starting to drive away. And Chase Elliott almost won Martinsville just a couple of weeks ago, but lost to Joey Logano. Now running second to his Penske teammate Brad Keselowski. Hamlin starting to show some strength on the 22 of Logano. Kevin Harvick right now in 6th place. Jimmy Johnson, Tony Stewart, McMurray, and now Kyle Busch, who qualified outside the top 25, now going after Greg Biffle for the last spot inside the top 10. Move Busch up to 10th, Biffle down to 11th, Ryan Blaney 12th, Ryan Vickers 13th. The final race for Michael Waltrip Racing will be shutting down after this race. Vickers moving to Stewart Haas Racing, David Reagan moving to Harry Scott Motorsports. So far, since that lap 1 crash, they've kind of gotten a little bit sorted out, and now here comes Hamlin putting the pressure on the 22 of Joey Logano. Logano runs out the track, leaves the inside line open for Denny Hamlin and trying to make a pass on that 22. And another thing you have to look at as the trends is the driver who won Phoenix last weekend, Christopher Bell and Erik Jones, won the title this weekend at Homestead. Brad Keselowski was in a must-win battle last weekend and got the win. So right now, if you look at the trends this weekend, it no doubt favors that 2-car of Brad Keselowski, and he's also leading in that Miller Lite Ford. And Hamlin, nice run out turn number 2, dives to the inside of Logano, but can he have a nice run entering turn number 3? Packs it in turn 3 pretty hard. No clear Logano on the corner exit of turn number 4. 16 laps remaining. It's now Brad Keselowski leading, Denny Hamlin 2nd, Joey Logano 3rd, and Kevin Harvick in 4th place. Look at these 3 drivers, Hamlin, Logano, and Harvick. They were in this battle for the title 2 years ago. Only difference was Ryan Newman was also in the Final 4, not Brad Keselowski. And you see Hamlin driving away from the 22, but does he have anything for the top 3? And you know, Elliott and Truex have been on the 2's bumper ever since we went back green, but not once. They've actually got a great run to try to get past that 2 of Keselowski. I mean, Brad's not driving away, but also Elliott and Truex are not getting enough time to get around that 2 of Keselowski. Let's look at the lap times here for Keselowski and Denny Hamlin. Brad runs a 28:59. Hamlin a 28:55. So last time by, Denny Hamlin was a little bit quicker than Brad Keselowski. Now, the champion will be the highest chaser in this race. Right now it's Keselowski. Hamlin will be 2nd in points, Logano 3rd, and Harvick in 4th. And Harvick just hasn't really shown the speed like Brad Keselowski, like Denny Hamlin. Hasn't really been the top dog this weekend, but right now, trying to get a spot inside the top 5. Come out of turn number 2. Last time by, Keselowski ran a 28:58. Hamlin a 28:54. So Hamlin is quicker. He is closing in on leader Brad Keselowski. It was pretty much under a second last time by. This time, it kind of, Hamlin did chip in the lead just a little bit. Slowly and surely though, catching the 2 of Keselowski. We saw this last night. Erik Jones and Daniel Suarez. Suarez was kind of catching Jones, but was unable to make up enough time to get up to that number 11 of Erik Jones. And we're seeing it again tonight. Harvick completes the pass on Joey Logano. 11th on back, a pretty good battle. Ryan Blaney, Greg Biffle, Carl Edwards, Regan Smith, AJ Allmendinger, Kurt Busch. Then you have Casey Kane, Kyle Larson, Vickers, and Al Mirola, Clint Bowyer, Austin Dillon, Brian Scott, David Reagan, Casey Mears, Justin Allgaier, Ryan Newman, Chris Buescher, Landon Castle, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. Got Stenhouse, the 83, being driven by Dylan Lupton, Matt Kenseth, Alex Bowman, Paul Menard, Michael Annett, Matt DiBenedetto, Trevor Bayne, Armstrong. Hamlin is closing in, there's no doubt about it, but he's not, I don't know if he'll be able to gain enough time, because remember, he has to get around Elliott and Truex in order to get to Brad Keselowski. And Hamlin is getting in the frame. He is closing the gap, but will it be enough? We have now 9 to go this time by, and right up ahead is some lap traffic. Dakota Armstrong, Trevor Bayne, Matt DiBenedetto. 3 lap cars, or not lap cars, but slower cars. Damage from that lap 1 crash, and look at Hamlin. He is closing in. It was about 7/10 separates the 2 and the 11 last time by. 0.77 to a 0.71. And Hamlin also, the closer he gets to Truex, the more of a draft he can get off that 78. And Hamlin and Truex are Toyota teammates, so that could also benefit the number 11 a little bit. We are no doubt going to catch the 26 of Dakota Armstrong, the 6 of Trevor Bayne, and the 93 of Matt DiBenedetto. Michael Annett, not quite sure about the 46, but it's all Brad Keselowski. He won that title back in 2012 in a close battle with Jimmy Johnson and Clint Bowyer. Here he was last weekend he was in a must-win situation. Held off Kurt Busch to grab the win. Now enters this weekend on equal playing field with Hamlin, Logano, and Kevin Harvick. And as they're going to catch some lap traffic, here comes Keselowski on the inside. Oh, Armstrong held him up a little bit. Armstrong held up Keselowski. Here comes Chase Elliott on the bumper, the 2 of Keselowski. Now they go to the inside of Trevor Bayne. And they give way. DiBenedetto up the track. Here comes Elliott. He has a run on the inside. It'll be side by side for the lead. They come from turn number 4. Brad Keselowski on the outside, but it's the rookie Chase Elliott on the inside lane. This is what Denny Hamlin needs to happen. Keselowski runs side by side. He needs him to get held up. Now Truex has a pretty good run on the 2 of Keselowski. Brad drops to second, and it's the 24 of Chase Elliott to the lead. Last night you saw Alex Bowman pick up his first career win in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Tonight, can Chase Elliott do the same? They are going to catch the 46 of Michael Annett. Right up ahead of them is Paul Menard, Alex Bowman, and Dylan Lupton. Not really enough laps, I believe, for them to make anything happen. And they go past the 46 of Michael Annett. And even though Hamlin, here comes Brad back for the lead. Off turn 4, side by side again. Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott, battles for the lead, 3 to go. I mean, Keselowski knows that right now he has the championship, but does he want to push the issue? Elliott hangs on the outside line. Truex now trying to get second away as Keselowski moves back in front. Brad Keselowski trying to become a 2-time series champion. Look at Martin Truex Jr. A great turns 3 and 4. Truex now jumps to the inside lane. It was Elliott, then it was Keselowski. Now it's the 78, Martin Truex Jr. and Denny Hamlin is coming. Look at Hamlin go. He may have a shot here. He's on the inside of Elliott, but Brad's still stuck on the outside. Now he gets to the inside lane. Hamlin's on the 2's bumper now. This is to win the championship. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, they come from the final corner. Down the front straightaway, Hamlin is there. White flag is out. Brad opens up the inside lane. Here comes Hamlin. Can't get enough run to get alongside. Their nose to tail, and in front is Martin Truex Jr. looking for his first win of the year. For the championship, though, can Hamlin do anything down here in turn 3? He's on the bumper. Keselowski's in front. He'll hang on. Martin Truex Jr. will hang on and pick up the win as Brad Keselowski is your 2016 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. What a exciting finish. Martin Truex Jr., his first win of the year, picks up the win, and Brad Keselowski is your NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion for 2016. How about that finish? Keselowski led, then Chase Elliott grabbed the lead, then Brad got it back, and then Martin Truex Jr. is going to get the win here in the Ford EcoBoost 400. The win may be overshadowed a little bit as Brad Keselowski is a two-time NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. And what a battle, hard-fought battle between him and Denny Hamlin. Joey Logano will end up finishing 6th. Kevin Harvick will be 5th. And Harvick and Logano never really had as much speed as the 2 and the 11 had. Harvick really didn't really have the greatest weekend when it comes to speed, along with the compared to the other 3 chasers. And Logano, he really did not have a great run like we all thought he would. Martin Truex Jr. is the winner, and Brad Keselowski is your champion for 2016. On your screen, your results and your champion for 2016. And guys, I'd like to thank you all for joining me for a incredible 2016 NASCAR mock season, and we all can't wait for the 2017 NASCAR mock season to begin. Remember, next year we have the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the NASCAR Cape Euro Truck Series, but we also will be bringing the NASCAR Can-Am Pro Series along with the ARCA Racing Series presented by Menards mock season on this channel for 2017. It'll be a couple of months until 2017 will start, but until then, congrats to Brad Keselowski on the championship for 2016 and Martin Truex Jr. on his first win of 2016. And an incredible year, and we'll see you next season for the 2017 NASCAR mock season. Congrats to Brad Keselowski, Erik Jones, and Christopher Bell, your 2016 NASCAR mock season champions.